very hilarious. You know what a blast like that does to your sequential camshaft. I'm talking vibration. And then there's a tremor in my gyroscope, too, that's...
Welcome back to the Titanium Hanger. This is Mike, and today I want to talk to you about the BadCube Grump, or it's their take on a G1 Masterpiece Gears. Now, this is the best Masterpiece Gears on the market today, and this is, I think, the third or fourth reissue of this character. I know that they seem to only reissue it every couple of years, so when they sell out, they'll be hard to get. Anyhow, we're going to take a look at this guy. We're going to talk about it. I did get it from Show Z. You can get yours there, too. I have a link down below. We'll talk about this coming up. First off the box is the typical two-color box from BadCube. It says Grump, a bunch of stuff right there. Really not much. It's the same old kind of stuff. You got a picture on the side, and you've got some pictures on the back. You got him smiling. He has no business smiling. He's Grump. Anyway, pretty cool. Reminiscent packaging of BadCube. So taking a look at good old Gears here, or Grump, he is a good looking figure. There is some paint on it. Well, it's old technology. It's old school from back in the day, but it still gets the job done. Overall, you look at this, you know it's Gears. But having a look at it, pretty much blue, red, silver. I don't know if the silver's painted. I think the silver might actually be painted. But the rest is more or less bare plastic. This is from back in the day when they did that. Now, the good point about this is you're getting this at almost the original price point. I mean, it originally came out for like 60 bucks, and now I think it's up to 70. It was 66 for a bit. Now it's 70 at Show Z, and I don't know what it is at other places. Anyhow, for that, it still looks pretty good, and it holds up, and it is my Masterpiece Gears on my shelf. Now, a couple of things about the design of it. It relatively is a clean design. A little bit with this lower back part of the leg. They're kind of hiding some stuff there. But really, it's a pretty clean figure considering it's like 6 years old, 7 years old, something like that. It's a pretty old figure. And it still holds up more or less. Now, getting into some articulation. His head has a gimmick with a transformation where it goes back and forth. And it also has a face swap where you can just flip it. But, like this, and so we'll leave the smile on for now. So you go from a grump to a smile, so that's pretty cool. And so his head does go side to side, his arm out to past the 90 on the shoulder, spin that around, bicep swivel, and single joint that goes past 90. Now it is a little bit, you do see some kind of would you say waffling on that? So that's a little strange, but you really don't notice it so much. But maybe it's part of the design, just how they put it together to keep price down. Exposed screw there. Hands are, I don't get any movement out of them. So you do kind of pop it open and move it in like so. So that's really all you do with the hand. And the chest piece here, it looks okay. Some silver paint on it. I did put that on myself, that sticker. And you do have waist like this. And it doesn't really ab crunch because sort of this gets in the way, but you could ab crunch it, I guess. But this kind of gets in the way. Anyway, getting down to the leg, it is on a ball joint. Or is that a universal joint? Yeah, it looks like a universal joint. It goes out to the 90 to the front. He's double jointed, and you don't have much in the knee. Oh, I guess never mind. You do have plenty in the knee, and you do have some movement from there. So again, old school. I think if this was like more of a modern design, we'd actually have the thigh swivel versus this joint, but it still looks okay. It's fine. It gets the job done. And then the foot, you do have quite a bit with the foot, and you can do a lot because of the transformation. Some of this stuff that is like part of the transformation that adds to the articulation, I think that's ingenious. I really think that's smart thinking that they were doing back then. But now that we've gotten this like this, we can talk about some accessories. We've got his hand all folded in, and we're going to pop this on right here. And so now he's got a welding tool, so now he can go fix stuff and weld stuff and, you know, be smiley and happy. The other accessory that he comes with is his gun. And so now the gun is painted really well, or it's cast in a shiny plastic, but it looks very nice, and it always has been a pretty nice looking gun there. And then we have this little computer chip. Now this is, I think, his personality chip when he started being all smiley, and it looks like a little tape cassette. Well, it actually, I can't get it in. It looks like a big giant tape cassette. So how we use this is you fold up his chest piece, which I guess you could partially transform it to get it in there, and then you just slide it into this slot. But it's a tight fit, and there it is. And so pull that back around, and this is his personality chip where he starts smiling and doing, I think this is what was this when Megatron did it to him? Anyway, still pretty cool features. They still hold up today. Okay, let's get into some comparisons and comparing him to Swerve, looking at them side by side. This is the BadCube version that they make, and it's also available for sale on ShowZ if you want to pick them up for a good price. And you can see how they completely remolded so much of this, but yet still kept so much the same between these two figures. The chest piece looks almost completely different, the head completely different. The way they even handle the whole, the wheels and the front end and all that kind of stuff, putting it on the shoulders instead of on the back, so completely different in a lot of ways, but similar in so many. This is the iGear one, and kind of we could, I guess, argue or discuss whether or not iGear could even count as a masterpiece. It's more of a between scale, because I don't think it's big enough to be an MP, but it's almost as tall as Gears. But anyway, that's what those look like. So here we go with Brawn from Fans Toys, and then the BadCube Huff. Now, the BadCube Huff's actually on pre-order right now, so if you're interested in getting him, you can pre-order him also. So, looking at these, that's how they scale together. I think that scales well, scales okay. I actually wouldn't mind if he was a little bit taller, but I'm not going to complain. I think this actually does sort of fit the Sunbow closer than my head, but overall, they look pretty good on a shelf together. That's how they look. And with MP44, and with Bumblebee version 2, and kind of a little group shot there. That's how he looks. He's slightly taller than MP44's knee. So, there you go. And since it ain't no fun without G1, well, there's a G1 version. So, I like to show how far we've come from, well, 30, 40 years ago. Alright, so getting this guy transformed up, here's what you do. First thing you do is you push the arms together, and then you fold the back together. And there he is. So looking at the... Oh, just kidding. We're actually going to have to transform this guy. So we want to take these parts off and set them to the side, of course. And as we stated, the hand, get out of there, has no articulation to it. It's just kind of there. We'll fold this up and fold the hands away. And get all that taken care of. We can move this up here. Before we do that, we need to open these connectors, expose the connectors. There we go. And push the head forward. Like so minute, such a minute bit of push head forward. Alright, now we're going to fold this back. Yeah, that punch is wanting to come through. And then we're going to disconnect the arms, or kind of like so. And then, so with the arms, let's go ahead and get the arms in position right now. So let's fold this around like so. And arms in position. Around like so. Arms in position. I think that's correct. We got some tabbing stuff that's going to have to happen. So there we go. And then we need to pull this out, this back piece, and separate. And I believe that's tabbed in like so. So we untabbing those pieces, and then pull these out like so. And then we're going to need to pull the wheels out also. Get it ready to combine, more or less, is kind of what's going to happen here. And then flip it around so it can get into position, and we can see it starting to take shape a little bit. Now this piece has a small little forward to it, and then we can start moving the arms into their position And yeah, we're just gonna leave it like that because it's going to align with this windshield when we move the windshield forward. Okay, so best to, I guess, see it from the bottom on how all this is going to connect together. So we're going to connect this tab into this slot right here. This is the funnest part of the transformation. And it's a pretty tight fit too, so there's that. And then come up here, and then this blue tab goes into the red chest piece. And to make it even more fun, the chest piece is on a ball joint, so it constantly moves. So let's get this other one here tabbed in, and then we're going to tab the top in at the same time. And that likes to move too. Wish there was a way kind of to hold this, all these pieces together at once, but it's not how it works. And then tab this in. So this one came untabbed too. So this is quite a process, and you have to have quite a steady hand for this, to tell you the truth. Maybe I'm not as steady. There, that one went back. And then we're trying this one again. And then that one went back. Okay, then it's not too bad. And then you tab this right here in, and both of them can should be able to tab in at the same time, like so. And just to tell you the truth, they will probably come undone again. But there it is. And now we're going to kind of fold this all the way forward here to cover these. And I actually just had it over it a second ago, so not sure why it's not. There we go.
Excuse me, please. I don't want to be pushy, but aren't you forgetting something?
So I took a second off camera to figure out why my windshield wasn't closing. And it's actually kind of cool what I did wrong, but you see how there's notches, or there's tab looking pieces here, which create sort of a notch for this gray piece to slide into. And that's how you sort of line that up so it'll go down and plug into place. Okay, so looking at the legs, we're going to fold these feet down and tab them into place like so, and then hide the toes. Fold these pieces out, which are the side runner kind of pieces that go along the sides of the, like a step into the door. And then we need to unfold this. Right here. Fold this out. Looks like it could be a seat, but it's not really. And then folding this up. Something along those lines. And then we have a joint here. Fold this around. So real quick, all this got to be lined up just right. Just like so. And then this will tab into here. Like so. And into there. Like so. Then the back will tab into here. Like so. And then the running board piece tabs in also. The other leg. Same thing, kind of unfold it all, and then fold this out. That's just going to fold, so it doesn't really matter where that is. And this is all going to go, okay, this is going to go inward like so. That's kind of how that's going to work. This goes up to here. This folds down into it. Tabs into here. And then you need to tab these pieces here together up top. Right here needs to be aligned too. Not the funnest transformation in the world, but it's getting the job done. All this is tabbing in. And I'm going to clean it up just a bit. Alright, so here he is in his alt mode, and first thing I want to do is put the weapon storage into there. You've got these two holes, these two tabs, and another thing, if you use the weapon storage on it, it actually holds this back together a little tighter, a little neater. So, does that look like gears? Yes, that looks like gears. In fact, actually, it's holding together better than my G1 one. Okay, there we go. So, looking at the... It's so reminiscent of G1, but yet so different in a way. But pretty nice looking overall, and it gets the job done. Now, there's that little bit of paint right here on the grill, and then the lights. You've got the red in there. I think that is red paint versus red plastic. And it's got a see-through window, which all you see is his shoulders. And you have a sunroof, kind of moonroof kind of looking thing going on right there. You got his cargo that he's carrying, which is he's carrying around his legs. You do have some exposed, I guess those are the knee joints, maybe, that are exposed right there, and can kind of line those wheels up. So overall, not bad. I mean, it's early engineering on a mini bot that still holds up pretty good. And let's see how it looks compared to some other mini bots. Okay, so here it is next to a couple of other mini bots. Now this is Final Victory. And I figure I might as well keep around for some alt mode comparisons. And then this one here is the X-Transbots, which was the Arcos. So they're Beachcomber. Looking at them side by side. Okay, so what you're going to notice is, and of course, it doesn't match scale. Like truck versus a dune buggy versus, you know, whatever that SUV Jeep looking thing is. It's a Jeep, not an SUV. Anyhow, it doesn't really seem like it scales it's the right size. But again, it's a mini bot, and we're going with Sunbow, not real world, and all this kind of stuff. I mean, so the bot mode justifies the size, basically, more or less. But I mean, there you go. You kind of get some comparisons of what's going on with these guys. Let's look at him next to a bigger bot, and here he is next to the MMC version of Mirage, and I'm kind of getting an idea of how big is he next to a car bot. He's a mini bot versus car bot, and you know, Mirage been out there rolling around, so. Speaking of rolling, I don't know, mine's not rolling that well. There he goes. That's how he looks. What do you think? So this is my look at BadCube Gears Grump. This guy looks pretty good for a mini bot, priced well for 2021. I mean, I'm very pleased with BadCube for not just up in the price, because this is really the only masterpiece option that's out there. Nobody else has announced one. No Fans Toys, no X-Transbots, nobody has announced that they're making this guy. This is the only game in town, and it's not bad. Even though the name is BadCube, it's not a bad figure. So anyway, you can get yours at Shozy. The reissue's out. I don't know how long it'll stay in stock. It's still a pretty good price. Now it's all the way up to $70, and who knows what's going to be on the secondary market if you don't snatch it up now. Like, subscribe to Deer Hanger out.
Wouldn't you know it? Every time I get set to lube my cable relay, something happens. For you to say your pulleys don't squeak.
Your squeaking's not the problem.
Go ding your diodes and get defunct, Megatron. I'm not helping you do zilch.
Autobots, reveal that you alone have the special circuit I need.
What happened? I suddenly feel so good-natured. Always happy to oblige, but I'm not sure why. I should be very angry at you, Megatron. You are an evil son of a retro rat.
Oh, no, you don't. The circuit stays right here.
Gears?
Okay, but this probably won't work.